Welcome, grammar students. Welcome to Lesson 6, Negatives and Middle Words. We have seen how X words are used to find the subject. The purpose of this lesson is to learn how they are used to make negative statements. In everyday English, the opposite of negative is positive. A positive person always looks on the happy side of things. A negative person is always unhappy. In grammar, the opposite of a negative sentence is called an affirmative sentence. Harry is happy is an affirmative sentence. Barry is not happy is a negative sentence. Happy is the opposite of not happy. Of course, with some verbs, a negative sentence might have a happy, positive meaning. Barry is sad. Harry is not sad. The meanings are still opposites. How do you make a sentence negative in English? As usual, we start by finding the X word. Then, in the middle word space, we put a negative word like not, the contraction of not, or never. We'll call these N words. Let's look at some examples. You should eat more junk food. This is the affirmative sentence. It doesn't have an N word. To make the sentence negative, we'll add not between the X word and the main verb. You should not eat more junk food. You can also use the contraction of not, N''T, and attach it to the X word. You shouldn't eat more junk food. In this example, the affirmative sentence is Sam can sing and play the guitar beautifully. To give this sentence the opposite meaning, add not as a middle word. Sam cannot sing and play the guitar beautifully. Did you notice that there are two verbs in this sentence? The X word and the middle word apply to both sing and play. We can also use the contraction. Sam can't sing and play the guitar beautifully. Here is an example that begins with I am. I am very tall. There's an X word, but no main verb. Tall is the describer. As usual, we put not after the X word to give the sentence the opposite meaning. Usually, we contract the X word and not, but with I am, we contract the subject, I, and the X word, am, to I'm. A word about double negatives. Sometimes we use N words like not, never, no, or none to make the sentence negative. But in English, we do not never use two N words in a sentence. Oops! I mean, we do not ever use two N words in a sentence. Not is a middle word. Do you remember what middle words are? They are adverbs that can go in the middle of the X word and the main verb. The most common middle words by far are not and its contraction, N''T. But there are other middle words too. Words like just, also, really, and never can be middle words. Let's look at never. Never is another way of making a negative, but never means not at any time. It is used for an experience that you have not had or that you don't want to have. Sophia has been to France many times. TJ has never been to France, but he has been to London. Never comes between the X word and the main verb. Another middle word is just. Just has two meanings as a middle word. I just called to ask how you're feeling. I only called for one reason. The meaning of just is simply or only. Just also means immediately before now. I just arrived at the airport. I arrived minutes ago. Another middle word is also. Also means to, T-O-O, or in addition. If you want to learn a language, grammar is a must, but vocabulary is also important. Really is another middle word. Really emphasizes what comes after it. TJ is really spending a lot of money for that watch. The middle word, really, stresses that TJ is paying more than expected for a watch. In review, it's easy to make a sentence negative. Just add not or an apostrophe T to the X word. If you want to add the meaning not ever, you can use never as the middle word. Negatives like not are the most common middle words, but there are other middle words like just, really, and also. You will find a list of middle words with Lesson 6 on accessiblexword.net. What should you do next? Read Lesson 6, do the exercises, and look for middle words in your reading. Listen for them in conversation.